Hey, fellow souls. First of all, what caused your Kundalini energy to activate? 1, maybe you purposely tried awakening it without using a proper method. Or 2, our inner sense of knowing conflicts with the construct's conditioning and we're faced with a storm within, causing disturbance mentally and physically. Or 3, it was activated by extreme stress or trauma. I think we're all familiar by now with the Kundalini energy and the chakras. When the Kundalini energy awakens, it makes its way through these energy centers, clearing out what needs to be brought to the surface to be seen and faced. If you've had this happen to you, then you know how much the central nervous system is affected. At first, the effects to my nervous system was an abstract concept for me. I kept thinking about it simply as energy moving through. I learned ways to manage these effects to the system, but again didn't really focus on the nervous system aspect of it. But then I began focusing on and realizing what a main player the nervous system is. The nervous system is the brain and spinal cord. The brain controls how we think, learn, move, and feel. The spinal cord carries messages back and forth between the brain and the nerves that run throughout the body. This explains all the unexplainable experiences we have once our nervous system has been corrupted or impacted. I say corrupted, but not in a bad way necessarily. What this unleashes within us impacts each of us to varying degrees. It depends on what's going on with us mentally and physically. In addition, what had been self-contained in the material world, what you can experience with your 5 senses, has now been opened wide. We now experience all sorts of unseen, unfelt, unheard, and unknown phenomena that can in some cases be seen as crazy. It's like opening Pandora's box. It's like being in the astral even while we're awake. The spiritual aspect is that we wake up from a very long sleep. We see everything for what it truly is, and this can turn our life upside down. We see how we've been under some imaginary control. We've been in our own personal prison. And yes, there can be a lot to deal with and manage in this process. The results can be so strong, causing a cognitive dissonance that we end up in the dark night of the soul, which I now call a Kundalini Dark Night. During the initial phase of this process, you may experience lower or negative energies or entities. When we're at our lowest, it's easy for, let's call it dark energies, to enter our field. There are many different beliefs about where these entities are from or where they exist, but either way, we have to deal with these aspects. Unfortunately, there's no easy answer, magic pill, or one-size-fits-all. We each find our own way as we're each coming from different environments and life situations. So how one manages it may not be possible for another. It can be especially damaging for those with addictions to drugs or alcohol, as this opens the door even wider to the lower elements, whether within or without. Some of us uncover physical disease as it gets brought to the surface and rooted out. Some are affected more mentally, even to the point of psychosis, and some of us experience both. As with anything, the true healing is at the root cause. This shows how key the central nervous system is and the role it plays in our life here in the physical existence. I believe that the soul dictates this spiritual transformation, as the soul holds all the emotions, traumas, and memories from all lifetimes, and its role is to nudge and prompt us to wake up to the spiritual beings that we are. It can be a rough ride getting unplugged from just being a mortal human. Imagine waking up one morning and finding yourself in a completely different dimension, a place you've never seen with faces you don't recognize. That's what happens when the Kundalini or primal energy awakens and wakes you up. It's a very powerful energy, experience, and transformation. There's a reason that so many of us awaken this way. We're meant to experience many things in the physical life. We're here to evolve. We experience many different things in each lifetime. It truly is an earth school. Is it an illusion? A simulation? I'm leaning in that direction. So many of us have had out-of-body events where we can observe ourselves from the non-physical. There's the astral, NDEs, and ayahuasca or LSD. We know there's more beyond this physical existence. Is it all happening within us? I think it's something like that. We can tap into Source and be somewhere else. We can receive information that is far more intelligent than we are, and this Kundalini energy opens us up to all of this and more. It can be hard to believe that it's all for our spiritual growth, but remember, this is not your first rodeo, and it won't be your last. If you do believe in only one lifetime, then the process could be much harder to accept and appreciate. After time, the symptoms lessen. The signs and synchronicities will change and maybe even decrease as your awareness grows. You'll start feeling calmer, the nervous system relaxes, heals, or clears. There may be a pop-up here or there. Our sensitivities have been greatly enhanced, so you'll always be open to what can't be seen. There will be some leaks and cracks here and there, but you'll manage them much better. So is life now a utopia? Not at all. This construct is a dualistic environment. There'll always be positive and negative, but as you have healed and the energy field around you has cleared and you value your connection to Source, the pluses and minuses will not be as severe or extreme or as frequent. Life will have a new sense of equilibrium. Your old default reactions will lessen, and you'll no longer react with fear and dread, knowing that all is a mirror and will be reflected back to you. We take the needed steps and actions and trust that Source will provide the best solution and outcome, although it may not be in the way you expect. You are now a co-creator rather than a controlled creator or a fearful creator. This world is serving us, sometimes providing experiences of extremes. You might wonder, how does this all really work? Did we plan ahead? Did we pick this lifetime to go for it all? To wrap up as much as we can? Meaning from a soul perspective, no one really knows for sure. What we do know is our own experience, our own intuition, and our own inner knowing. We don't have to listen to anyone else. We don't have to follow anyone, believing that they have all the answers. Anything we read, listen to, or watch, we must use our own discernment and discretion. Not to discredit anyone, but to be true to our own self. Just take what works. The awakened ones don't bring hate or negativity into their field or sphere. The effects of a Kundalini Dark Night can be insurmountable. But for most of us, it's a transformation from mortal to spirit. Life might not be perfect, but you now see it from an entirely new perspective. So don't give up if you're in this process. Don't give up to the darkness that might be trying to permeate your being. Use your connection to Source. Don't believe any scary or negative voices. Use any practice that brings you peace, whether it's white light or calling on God or Jesus, healers, nature, whatever you have come upon that helps. Just keep moving forward day by day, doing what you need to do. Take care of yourself. We all make our own way, and along the way we make mistakes, bad choices, and crazy decisions. Yes, there are consequences, but we learn from each event. You can overcome any obstacle. It will be the hardest thing you've ever done, but it's a unique, transformational process based on your soul blueprint. All we can do is share and try to help each other through it. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Remember, you are not alone.